What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? BizzyDad here. You there checking out this Force of Will Faceoff. This is a new frontier format, so only Alice and Lapis Cluster. I am on the left. I am playing my Yogsmack deck, which is Yog, the new ruler, and Mike is on the right. He is playing Millium, the deck he calls MaxiMillium, which is white, green, and moon with some fairy tale support. My deck is black, green, and moon, and I'm really excited about this deck. I love to run it. Yog is great, and cards work really well together. So I've thrown back two. I don't know if I want to throw the third one back. I actually won the dice roll, which is amazing, which never happens, and I decide to go second for the Energize. I ship back two. Mike ships back one, I believe. And he is going to go first, so he calls his white-green dual stone. And he is going to play the Heart-Stirring Sage and pass the turn. So I will draw and call a stone. It is a mono black. I'm going to play my Gleipnir Regalia, which is a lot of fun to play. Thinking about a move here. Looks like the screen is frozen, but it is not. I decide to just pass the turn. So Mike draws and recovers, gets another white green stone, so now he's got two. And he's going to use one light for Thumbelina. Thumbelina is blue, but she is a fairy tale, so he is allowed to use Light Will with Millium for any fairy tale, which is really good, really strength of Millium. No other action for Mike, so he passes. I'm going to draw. And I'm thinking of a move before recovery, but I do not. So I call a stone, and it is a green stone. I'm going to use it for the Moonbreeze Elf. And I realized I messed up. I remember this part of the game. I didn't want to do that. I should have done something differently. I ended up not doing that and putting the Moonbreeze Elf up there. So already a misplay, but I decide to just go into damage control and just pass the turn. So I give Mike a little bit of an opening here. So he's going to draw and before recover, he's going to use the Heart-Stirring Sage's ability to pump his attack up to match his defense. And Thumbelina is also going to get a counter. And Mike draws a Moonbreeze Memoria, which is white or moon. I'm not really familiar with the Thumbelina card. I know that removing counters will give somebody else attack and defense. He plays two for Pandora. So he is giving a little bit of a glimpse into his future plan. He has cards that will involve rolling dice. So a good little info there. He passes the turn. Now I draw, and I'm thinking about a move before recovery here. Shifting the cards in my hand, just making sure the math is there, because I want to start forcing the action. Mike is starting to build a board presence, and sometimes when the cards don't fall your way, you have to be creative and find ways to make it happen. So I still have not recovered yet, and he knows I'm thinking. So I'm going to use one dark, moon, and the Energize ability for Call a Primogenitor with its Awakening. So this spell lets me pull a target resonator out of my graveyard, but there is none in there. But the Awakening lets me search my deck for a dark resonator. And I'm going to search for Azathoth. And there is no, I'm doing a voiceover of the volume, but there was a little bit of an exhale from Mike when he saw that. Just seeing that card is not ideal. So he gets to go into my hand. Now I'm going to recover. Here I'm pump faking a potential quick judge with Yog. I'm doing the finger tap Will I judge? Will I not judge? And I decide to call a stone. So here's the black-green. So I have all my stones out right now. The Energize is gone. That is just a one-time dark will. So I'm going to spend 1 will for Soul Hunt. Each player is going to have to banish a Resonator and discard a card. So before I banish the Moonbreeze Elf, I'm going to rest her to float a Moon Will, and I'm going to discard Azathoth. We want to get him into the grave. So Thumbelina is going to rest and shift her counter over to the Heartstirring Sage before she gets banished. Mike has to now discard a card. Soul Hunt is really a great card to begin with, not to mention it works really well in this deck in order to get the Resonators out of our hand into the graveyard. Just one of our options to do it. I'm trying to remember, did Mike discard a card? He might not have. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to hit a second Soul Hunt. I don't have any other Resonators, but I'm going to discard the Elf Village. Elf Village, another great card. He's going to discard the Pumpkin Carriage, and now he has to decide. He's going to get rid of Pandora, and I know that probably hurt him. So I'm going to pass the turn. Good way to clear the board a little bit, get my guys into the graveyard. Heartstirring Sage is going to pump himself up to 6/6. He's going to call stone, gets another white-green. We're going to have to go back in the video to see if Mike discarded from that first Soul Hunt. If not, I'm definitely going to be calling the Force of Will front office for maybe a suspension in the future. Mike plays the Branch of Yggdrasil, which gives plus 400 defense to the Heartstirring Sage. So he is now a 6/10, and he also gets to draw a card. Mike looking over his options. It definitely has to be in his head that Azathoth is in the graveyard. He swings at me for 6 with the Heartstirring Sage. I take the damage. I have no block. Excuse me. He's going to play the Lunar Ibis with Awakening. That's going to recover the Heartstirring Sage. Give the Ibis +2/+2. But he does not swing. He passes the turn. Excuse me. So I'm going to draw, recover, call stone. It's another dark stone. One thing, I know Mike is playing white-green, so here I check his stone count. He only has 1 open stone, which makes me very comfortable to play the Shadow Doppelganger and pull Azathoth out of the graveyard. Actually, you have to remove a Resonator from the game, and if you do, Shadow Doppelganger becomes a copy of that. So in essence, Azathoth is on the field on turn 4. This is just unbelievable. And I wanted to make sure Mike did not have 2 stones up because he could have used Seal of Wind and Light to cancel. I was aware of that, and I made sure he did not have the stones to do it. I passed the turn, and Mike draws. He's going to tap the Heartstirring Sage. So now the Sage is now 10/10 because of the Branch of Yggdrasil. It's going to call stone. It's a light stone. So Mike now reestablishing a board presence, but that Azathoth is just really a pain. So he's going to play Wind Secluded Refuge. He's going to get to draw a card. Wind Secluded Refuge is a good little addition. If something targets one of his Resonators, he could banish it, and if he does banish it, the spell or ability is canceled. Plays 1 for Dreams of Flight. So this is a really good spell. It's going to give the Resonator a die roll, and it is a 4. So the Sage now goes to 14/14, and it flies. So I have no response, so I'm going to have to take 14 damage, putting me down to 20, or 2,000. It's going to swing at me with the Ibis for 5. And he's going to pass the turn. So I draw. And I'm now weighing my options before I recover here. I do recover. Mike has both his resonators down. He's very vulnerable. And when Azathoth attacks, it's really just a bombshell because just by attacking or blocking, he gets to destroy a J resonator. This is before the attack even gets through. So very dangerous here. And I'm thinking about what to do because really my goal here is to take advantage of Mike's resonators while they're down. I fully intend on attacking with Azathoth, but I'm going to play the creature from Chaos. Like I said, I fully intend on attacking with Azathoth because I get a chance to destroy one of his resonators on the field. And I also know that 2000 is most likely going to get through because he has no other way. He has no blockers, and he has no way to prevent that damage. And he just goes to show you the power of Azathoth in his deck. 2 swings from Azathoth to your opponent will end the game. So just thinking along those lines, being down here to my last 1500, I'm still feeling very comfortable because Azathoth is on the board. So I'm in thinking mode. It's one thing to play test and just play against yourself or play against air, but when you are playing against somebody else and trying to think about what they have and everything like that, your mind definitely races, especially mine. I like to try to play a couple of moves ahead. So here goes Azathoth. He's going to attack. I'm going to attack Mike, and I'm going to attempt to destroy the Sage. And Mike uses his Wind Secluded Refuge to prevent the damage. So that does not get through to the Sage, but the attack still gets through to Mike. So he's going to lose 2,000 life from the Azathoth attack. Essentially here, he used the Wind Secluded Refuge to save the Sage, and now the card is gone. And I know that I could still do something to get rid of it. So I'm going to do a couple of things here. First, I'm going to pay 1 for a Call of the Primogenitor without Awakening. So it's just going to let me pull a Resonator out of my graveyard, and I'm going to pull the Moonbreeze Elf. And I think about playing it, and then something dawns on me. A much better play, a much smarter play dawns on me right here to really change the tide of the game and really put myself in the driver's seat as far as putting the pressure on Mike to basically either beat me on the next turn or the game is pretty much over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to judge for 1. I'm going to judge for the 1 dark, 1 and 0. So when Yogg comes into the field, he comes in with a limit counter of X plus 1. My X was 0, so he's going to come in with 1 limit counter, and I'm going to pass the turn. So just like that. So because Yogg's limit counter was 1, all the 1 drops are destroyed. So I've completely wiped Mike's side of the board. I made him use his Wind Secluded Refuge. I had to lose 500 life from Yogg hitting 0 limit counters and having to flip back over. But again, like I said, I feel very comfortable because Azathoth is on the field and Mike is going to be in a lot of trouble next turn because of Azathoth's ability to not only swing for 2,000, but to destroy a Resonator. So he plays another Sage and he plays another Thumbelina. He's trying to get some board presence up there because he knows Azathoth is out there and he knows there's going to be issues. So he passes the turn. I'm going to draw and recover. So now Azathoth is up. Now we know that Azathoth is going to attack this turn. I do have to be a little bit careful. I'm going to discard an additional Gleipnir in order for me to draw a card. And I do have to be careful here because I'm down to my last 1,000 life. So I'm going to pay 1 green for the Moonbreeze Elf. I'm going to pay another dark for Soul Hunt here. which is interesting. So the Moonbreeze Elf was out there for insurance, but he uses Seal of Wind and Light with Awakening to make sure I couldn't cancel that. The Moonbreeze Elf was really just bait. I wanted to get rid of one of his Resonators because then Azathoth can just swing and win the game. That's why I did that. But I'm still in a comfortable enough position here because if Azathoth can't win the game, Azathoth can clear the board. So I'm going to attack Mike for 2,000, and I'm going to destroy the Heart-Stirring Sage. So he's going to block with Thumbelina. Thumbelina will get killed, and the Sage has to be destroyed. He's just pumping up Thumbelina, so Azathoth takes some damage. If he had a Demon Flame, that would be really good. But his board is wiped. I pass the turn. Mike draws and realizes he does not have an answer. He's not going to be able to prevent the Azathoth's attack next turn. Just in case he decided to judge, I did have a Black Moonbeam in my hand, which would have really just been another gut punch. But it just goes to show you how powerful Azathoth is and just how technical it is to play with Yogg. Mike getting really animated here. But Yogg is a really unique ruler, really interesting, and to play him optimally is going to take a lot of practice. I did have some misplays here, but being able to flip Yogg over and just clear all the 1-drops was great, and Azathoth just took care of the rest of that. Just a wrecking crew. And it's really tough. If you don't have an answer for the Shadow Doppelganger, and those cards like Azathoth get into the graveyard, it's really tough, especially on turn 3, turn 4. You're playing from behind, and Azathoth is just going to run the table as much as he can. Not to mention Yogg clearing the board and swinging for 1,500 himself. So that is it, guys. I hope you liked it. Let me know what you think with a comment below. Like, share, and subscribe. I do love this Yogg deck. It was a lot of fun to build, and it's even more fun to play. Very unique. And I hope you guys like it. So there will be more matches and more videos in the future. So until then, as always, thanks for a few minutes, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.